Okay, we will go ahead and roll into our post-race media availability of the campingworld.com 500, and we now have been joined by our second place finisher, driver of the number 1 Cessna Chevrolet, Jamie McMurray. And Jamie, your first top 5 of the season. Talk a little bit about your run today and being able to come home in the second position.
We just had a really good weekend. Every practice our car was quick and we qualified well. Just had a mistake-free day and really executed the race perfectly. The 4 car is on an amazing roll, and if I could do my restart over again right now, I would have done something a little different. But it is what it is, and I'm really happy with second. It would be nice to be in victory lane. I know you were locked in the chase the way the point format works, but as a group, our whole organization, the 1-car team, Matt McCall, really awesome cars. Matt did a great job calling the race. That's hard, in your first 4 or 5 races to make that decision at the end to stay out on old tires. In hindsight, it's obvious that it was the right one, but when you're in the car and you've run that many laps and you know how bad the car feels, when he asked me, what do you want to do? I'm like, you're the crew chief. I'm going to let you do whatever you think is right. And he did a great job today.
We'll go ahead and take questions for Jamie, and we'll start up front with Reed.
Thank you very much. Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. What would you have done differently on that restart?
Well, I had no idea that Kevin had such a bad restart. When I got the tires that Goodyear brought would build a lot of marbles up, similar to what we had in the old days, and you would scrub them back and forth, and it was really hard on those last 2 restarts to get any drive. And then when you'd get to the corner, it didn't want to turn and it was loose. So no grip, sliding around a lot. And honestly, when I went through 1 and 2, I felt like I totally missed the corner, and I was waiting to hear 3 wide. You're in the middle. And then I heard clear, and I wish I would have moved up immediately, because I think I had him cleared for a moment. He had a little momentum on the outside, and I just didn't feel like I was clear. The cars are kind of like what we have at Daytona. When you're clear of someone, or when someone gets to your quarter pound, you can feel it bog the car down. I just didn't feel like I was clear, and hindsight, I would have listened to my spotter a little better and just moved up. But I felt like I missed the corner, so I didn't have any idea how I could be clear.
We'll take a question from Jenna and then Bob.
Jennifer, AP, I have 2 questions. The first, when you find yourself in position racing with Kevin there on the restart and the way he's dominated and how good he is here, did you believe that you had a shot? I mean, even if you got by him?
The outside is a big advantage here on the restarts. It's lots of momentum you can carry on the outside, and he'd been really good on the restarts all day long. So honestly, I was really concerned about trying to slide in behind him. Well, let me back up. No, when we drove into turn 1, I'm like, I'm going to go like hell, and I hope I can clear him. But the car just didn't feel like it had the grip that you needed, and I didn't want to slide up and wipe everybody out. So I mean, did I think I had a chance? Yeah, but you just don't ever know what you're going to get when you get to that end. And the lap times didn't fall off that much. Let me say, the lap times fell off a lot, but it felt like they fell off 2 or 3 seconds a lap. The car felt horrible at the end of a run. So you just don't know what you're going to have on the restart, because we'd been out there on those tires quite a while.
The second question is, on Friday you mentioned what a role the 4 team's on. You said it again when you came in here. Can you think of any other, whether it be another driver or another professional sports team, that has done something like this?
Well, I think we've seen it in other sports. I remember the days when Jeff Gordon won 13 races in a year in 97 or 98. I remember watching every week, and it was incredible. I think our sport is much tougher now to do that in. And we talked about it the team guys talked about it at the Charlotte test on Wednesday. I remember when the 4-car unloaded at the Charlotte test last year in January, first lap on the track, he was literally the fastest car, and for a year it's been that way. Last year they should have won more races, and they had issues. It seemed like they'd be the fastest car and something would take them out. But yeah, they're on a roll, and it's when I listen to Kevin talk, it just seems like there's really good communication between he and Rodney and the engineer and the whole team.
Bob, go ahead.
Bob Pockers, ESPN. You were at Roush when Kurt was there. You were friends with him. What have you thought about what he's gone through the last 3 weeks? And was there any doubt in your mind that he would be could come right back and be in the top 5?
Well, it's kind of hard to say this about Kurt because he's standing right there. But what I'll tell you about maybe he's not. He was a second ago. Matt Kenseth and I talk about Kurt and his ability in a car and how talented he is. He always has been able, whether it was in the Truck Series or when he moved up to Cup, he just always has had a lot of speed, and it didn't shock me at all to see him. Those cars are really quick right now. It didn't shock me at all to see him get in and run as well as he did this weekend. As far as what he went through, that would be really tough, and it's I think it's a unique situation based on everything that happened in the NFL earlier in the year, and I know it's just a touchy subject, and I'm glad that he's free of that and doesn't have that on his back anymore, and that he can move on.
Any final questions for Jamie? Jamie, congratulations on a good run. Thanks for coming in.